Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marvel Characters in Overwatch.
Let's get this started.
Let's start this off with our tank Galactus. Now, I've got some pretty cool things in mind for Galactus. Obviously, his eye lasers are going to be his primary fire. Unlike other lasers in Overwatch, when this connects to somebody, it creates a solid beam. And if an enemy walks through that beam connecting Galactus to his enemy, they will also get hit with part of the damage for as long as they're in there, obviously. Well, like 60 damage per second. Anybody who walks through gets hit with half that, so 30 per second. Because I'm not going to give Galactus a shield. Essentially, his laser is going to be like creating a circuit with electricity, except it's light, not electricity. And if you walk through it, you get hit. This does immediately go away if you break line of sight with him. So characters like Doomfist, they'll be able to just instantly zap their way out of the beam. And if they exit the line of sight of the beam, or they put a shield in the way, two different things happen. So one, if a shield gets put up in front of the laser connects to the shield independently of the character. So either Galactus or the enemy he's attached to, or the shield that's attached to the enemy that he's attached to, can move the beam around to make sure that it doesn't or does hit their teammates. Additionally, it will have the Discord orb penalty, where when it disconnects from a target, it can't reconnect for another 2 seconds. The Discord orb I know takes like 6 seconds. I don't know why the fuck it takes 6 seconds. Zenyatta's already underpowered. Anyways, disconnecting doesn't mean you can't deal damage to that target again. It just means it turns into more of a Zarya laser instead of a electrical circuit. Except if I'm not mistaken, Zarya can shoot through multiple people. Galactus' laser won't be able to do that unless it's connected to someone. Galactus' primary ability will be to use his cosmic power to create a wave that knocks back everybody around him. Like a full 360 degree wave. 50 damage right off the bat for that one. Why not? His final ability will be to turn one of his allies into a herald of Galactus, shall we say. And I know this is a bit weird, but I feel like he should give them the Silver Surfer hoverboard and make their character shine silver. Or chromed. I don't think it's silver. They look like Mercury, is what I'm trying to say. They look like Mercury. Anyways, their hoverboard allows them to fly around and glide around. They fly about at the same speed that Mercy flies, and they glide around at the same speed she glides around. However, the hoverboard only has 300 health. It cannot block headshots. Let's just say projectiles go through it. It hits it pierces the hoverboard. Well, it's closer to a surfboard. Why the fuck did Galactus give him a surfboard? You know what? Next, let's go to the ultimate. So Galactus has a device called the Ultimate Nullifier. When he uses this device, it destroys the entire multiverse and then rewrites the entire, it remakes the entire multiverse without its target. Now that's the most fucking overpowered shit I've ever seen in fiction. But so when he uses his ultimate nullifier, he literally just holds it out and it shoots a hit scan beam in a straight line. He cannot aim this beam anywhere else, and it only lasts 1.5 seconds. Fuck it, why not? 1.5 seconds. And anybody hitting that beam instantly dies. Dead. Boom. Done. However, just to balance it, it's probably going to have to be really thin. So let's make it like half the size of a Zarya laser. Oh, and Galactus is just standing there helpless that entire 2 seconds, just pointing that thing outward. Next up, we got Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom's primary fire is going to be his electric blasts, which will act like Winston's secondary fire, except it actually connects to nearby targets. So let's say it does like 40 per hit and 20 to whoever's around that person. But we're going to have to increase his firing speed. Lucio's firing speed. Lucio gets out at least 3 projectiles every 1 second. Let's say Dr. Doom gets out 2 projectiles every second. That means it still takes at least 2 seconds to get 160 damage out. That seems fair to me because Widowmaker can get a lot more than that out in a lot less time. She can just click you, boom, it's done. Alright, so Dr. Doom has this thing where he can scramble people's brains if he makes physical contact. So let's make it so that his first ability will be that, obviously. He will use a melee punch, so it does the stock melee damage, but it also stuns them for 1.2 seconds. I choose 1.2 seconds because while McCree's stuns for less time, it does almost double the damage. Dr. Doom's second ability will be to call in a Doombot. So the Doombot will come down just like Diva's mech, except it'll only do a maximum of 50 impact damage, but it'll have Dr. Doom's same fire rate where it shoots his electric blasts, and it'll only have 175 health. We can't make it just as strong as he is, and it also stays in one place. But instead of redeploying a new one like Torb does, Dr. Doom will press the button and it'll call his sentry to him. And it'll stop wherever he's standing when he did the call. So if he moves after he presses the button to call it, it still goes to where he was before. It hovers over, shoots anything on its way, and then plants itself where he put it. Alright, this is going to be either broken or not broken. Dr. Doom's ultimate ability is going to... Let's give him the range of Reaper's ultimate, actually. So, any enemy in the range of how far Reaper's ultimate would reach, Dr. Doom will start their cooldowns on all their abilities. Of course, this will only give half the cooldown time. We don't want it to be too overpowered. So he gives them half their cooldown time rounded up and resets all of his cooldown so he can use his abilities. Also, he gets a secondary Doombot slot while it is active for however long until it dies. Squirrel Girl is going to be the final character. She's going to be the support, and this is going to be the stupidest thing I ever did. She's going to have a squirrel on her hand that shoots nuts out of its mouth, and when she reloads it, she's just going to stuff a handful of nuts in the squirrel's mouth. It's going to shoot like a minigun. No headshots, 20 per hit, 30 in a clip. I meant acorns instead of nuts, by the way. Anyways, her primary fire also heals teammates. Her second ability is going to feed a teammate a giant acorn, giving them 75 health and a 10% increase in damage for the next 5 seconds. She's going to have an ability to throw a squirrel at somebody, and it does that thing, you know, in movies where a creature jumps on somebody's face and they're just stumbling around trying to get it off. Yeah, it's going to activate your WASD keys completely at random. You can still fire on your own, it's just completely random. And her final ability is to summon 40 squirrels to drag somebody off to their doom off the nearest cliff or until 15 seconds has passed. Let's just pass the squirrels so that they drag people away the furthest distance they can, or off the nearest cliff, because it's just that funny. Each squirrel has 30 health, so automatic weapons won't be good against it, but explosives will. If you can kill all the squirrels before they could do anything, then you're all set. But killing squirrels does not decrease their dragging you away speed. Also, if there are any squirrels left at the end, they come back to you as 1% ult charge for each one. Honestly, I think Squirrel Girl fits the most in Overwatch. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll probably see you next time.
Good